does neuroscience help us understand the feeling of being overwhelmed and the practical steps leaders can take to manage this cognitive load more effectively?
You know that the prefrontal cortex works with our working memory, and our working memory can hold between 7 to 9 pieces of information. So if we had to think about someone arriving at their desk in the morning, and let's think about all the different things that could suddenly face their brain. So for example, they open their emails. They see immediately there's an email that they need to respond to. And so they keep that window open and they move it to the side of the screen. That's number one. And so they go through the whole morning. And in a matter of about 5 minutes, with a sticky note here and, a call from a colleague and a notification and a message on Slack and, the reminder from the diary that there's a Zoom call at 9:30, very, very quickly, the working memory is now taken up. And the prefrontal cortex is now trying to prioritize. And suddenly the brain is going, there's too much going on. And this, of course, keep in mind, is all using neural energy. So if that brain didn't sleep well, if that brain had a misunderstanding with someone at home in the morning as the brain was leaving for work, or even if the brain works at home, all of these take a toll on how the brain is juggling all of these pieces of information. Because we live in such an information-saturated world, it is extremely, extremely important for leaders to understand that they need to support their staff, to enable them to focus on what really matters. That means not superfluous notifications, not loads and loads of emails. And secondly, to have boundaries around time. The research is now showing that people are getting less and less time to work on projects. But the projects are becoming more and more complex and, stricter deadlines on those projects because of the exponential change. So the bottom line is we need to be protecting our time. We need to have lines in the sand. We need to be saying our brain is not an infinitely limitless organ. It has very, very clear ways of how it needs to be treated to be able to function optimally. And once leaders put those practices into place and help their staff learn how to do that, which I know you and I teach people, then guess what? Suddenly the person can take a deep breath. They don't have a working memory that's overloaded. They've only got 4 things that they need to focus on in the next 2 hours. And guess what? That's manageable. The brain doesn't feel overwhelmed by that. The brain knows that this is possible. The brain has done this before. Deep breath, parasympathetic nervous system steps in, calmness, control. They become productive. They are more engaged because their brain can cope.